Non.
Le monsieur vous a introduit. Il y avait un monsieur de vous qui vous a introduit.
Je dois parler maintenant.
Hey guys, welcome to Afro 10. On today's top 10, we'll be talking about the oldest presidents in Africa. Some of these presidents have turned their offices to their personal inheritance. Even in their old age, they are still fighting to be at the top position in the country. Some of the people and their age on this list will shock you. So if this is the first time you are seeing this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and like if you enjoyed this video. Number 10 on the list is Ismail Omar Guelleh. Ismail Omar Guelleh was the first elected president in Djibouti in 1999 as the hand-picked successor of his uncle, Hassan Guelleh Haptidon, who has ruled Djibouti since independence in 1977. He's often referred to by his initials, IOG. Guelleh was re-elected in 2005, 2011, and again in 2016. Guelleh has been characterized as a dictator, and his rule has been criticized by some human rights groups and governments such as the United States. He was born on the 27th of November 1946, which makes him 77 years old. Number 9 on the list is Abdelmadjid Tebboune. Abdelmadjid Tebboune is the president and the minister of defense in Algeria. Tebboune took over from former president Abdelmadjid Bouteflika, who serves as the president of Algeria for almost 20 years from 1999 to his resignation in 2019. Previously, he was the prime minister of Algeria from May 2017 to August 2017. He was also minister of housing from 2001 to 2002 for a year, and again from 2012 to 2017 for 5 years. He was born on the 17th of December 1945, which makes him 78 years old. Number 8 on the list is Yoweri Museveni. Yoweri Museveni is a Ugandan politician, a retired military officer, and the ninth and incumbent president of Uganda. Museveni was involved in rebellions that toppled Ugandan leaders Idi Amin and Milton Obote. He was therefore seen by Ugandans as a hero and celebrated by the West as part of a new generation of African leaders. But the 79-year-old has since played fast and loose with the rules, scrapping presidential term limits in 2005 to enable the extension of his rule. On 16 January 2021, the Electoral Commission of Uganda announced that Museveni won re-election for a 6th term with 58.6% of the votes in an election that was marred with electoral fraud. He has talked about retiring before he turns 80 years of age and has endorsed his vice president as the next presidential candidate. Number 7 on the list is Nana Akufo-Addo. Nana Akufo-Addo became the president of Ghana in 2017 after he defeated John Dramani Mahama in the first round, winning with 53.85% of the votes, which marked the first time in a Ghanaian presidential election that an opposition candidate won a majority outright in the first round. Nana was again re-elected in the 2020 general elections, defeating John Dramani Mahama. He was born on the 29th of March 1944. Akufo-Addo previously served as Attorney General and as Minister of Foreign Affairs. He was elected as the Economic Community of West African State, ECOWAS chairman in September 2020. In December 2021, Nana Akufo-Addo pledged to respect the 2-term limit mandate in the Ghanaian constitution and not run for a 3rd term in 2024. Number 6 on the list is Muhammadu Buhari. Nigeria's president Muhammadu Buhari came into democratic power in 2015. He had been unsuccessful in earlier bids for the presidency in 2003, 2007, and 2011 general elections. But in 2014, he emerged as the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Party for the 2015 general election, defeating incumbent president Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. The president previously served as the nation's head of state from 31st December 1983 to 27 August 1985 after he overtook power in a military coup. The term Buharism is ascribed to the authoritarian policies of his military regime. He was born on the 17th of December 1942, making him 81 years of age. In February 2019, Buhari was re-elected, defeating his closest rival, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, by over 3 million votes. Number 5 on the list is Emmerson Mnangagwa. Emmerson Mnangagwa is serving as the 3rd and current president of Zimbabwe since November 2017. A long-time ally of his predecessor, Robert Mugabe, and a senior member of the ruling ZANU-PF party. Mnangagwa served as the first president of Zimbabwe from 2014 until his dismissal in early November 2017, which prompted a coup that ousted Mugabe on 21st November 2017. He was born on the 15th of September 1942, making him 81 years of age. Number 4 on the list is Teodoro, Nguema, Mbasogo. Teodoro Nguema is an Equatorial Guinean politician and former military officer who has served as the second president of Equatorial Guinea since August 1979. He ousted his uncle Francisco Macia Nguema in an August 1979 military coup and took control of the country as president and chairman of the Supreme Military Council, Junta. He is the 4th oldest president in Africa, the longest serving president in Africa, and the second longest serving non-royal national leader in the world after Paul Biya of Cameroon. He was born on the 5th of June 1942, making him 81 years of age. He is regarded as an authoritarian leader. He has been widely accused of corruption and abuse of power. Equatorial Guinea continues to have one of the worst human rights records in the world. Number 3 on the list is Alassane Ouattara. Alassane Ouattara has been the president of Cote d'Ivoire since 2010. At 81, Alassane Ouattara is the 3rd oldest president in Africa. He was born on the 1st of January 1942. He is an economist by profession. Ouattara worked for the International Monetary Fund and the Central Bank of West African States, and he was the prime minister of Cote d'Ivoire from November 1990 to December 1993. Appointed to that post by President Félix. Number 2 on the list is Hage Geingob. Hage Geingob is currently serving as the 3rd president of Namibia since 21st March 2015. Geingob was the first prime minister of Namibia in 1990 to 2002. Between 2008 and 2012, Geingob served as the Minister of Trade and Industry and served as prime minister again from 2012 to 2015. Currently, Hage Geingob is the oldest president in South Africa and the 2nd oldest president in Africa. He was born on the 3rd August 1941, making him 82 years old. In November 14th, Geingob was elected president of Namibia by an overwhelming margin. In November 2017, Geingob was the 3rd president of SWAPO after winning by a large margin at the party's 6th Congress. In August 2018, Geingob began a 1-year term as chairperson of the South African Development Community. Number 1 on the list is Paul Biya. Paul Biya has been the president of Cameroon since November 1982. At the age of 90 and still in power, Paul Biya is the oldest president in Africa. He's also the 2nd longest ruling president in Africa, after Teodoro Obiang of Equatorial Guinea, and the longest ruling non-royal leader in the world. He was born on the 13th of February 1933. He served as Secretary General of the presidency from 1968 to 1975, and then Prime Minister of Cameroon from 1975 to 1982. He succeeded Hage as president upon his resignation in 1982 and consolidated power in 1983 to 1984. Staged attempted coup in which he eliminated all of his major rivals. This regime is supported by France, one of the former colonial powers in Cameroon, which supplies it with weapons and trains its military forces. France is also leading foreign investor in Cameroon ahead of United States. If you enjoyed this video, kindly hit the subscribe button and like, then click on the end screen by your left to watch the top 10 most corrupt politicians in Nigeria.